Today's thought for the day is called Surf, Solitude, and Serendipity. A few episodes ago, we had a chat with our buddy David discussing David Foster Wallace's essay, How Tracy Austin Broke My Heart, an essay in which David Foster Wallace expressed the incomprehensibility of physical prowess. We're trying to get somewhere with this show, not just an idea of a place, not just a brand or online persona, but an actual flesh and blood, IRL practical realization of mind-body synergy. A renaissance man for the digital age for all of us, and that'll look different for everybody. Whatever the things are that you find almost pulling you in different directions, but finding some way to make those things integrate and be synergized. Incarnate our galaxy brain takes in the mud, blood, and beer of Clown World Game of Thrones and see if they actually survive. All of these ideas sound nice when we're waxing political or philosophical in our bespoke safe space niches on the internet, but do we have any real-world use when the shit hits the fan on the shifting sands of market-driven society? I think part of the problem with our stagnation in current year is an outmoded, willing suspension of disbelief when it comes to success in sports, politics, business, religion, and life. There is no I in team. Play by the rules. May the best man win. None of these platitudes are true, at all. But we pretend they are. Match fixing, insider trading, scripted Cinderella stories, K-fob heel turns to set up a multi-season wilderness wandering that will culminate in a dramatic redemption arc comeback story. Showbiz as praxis. All of that is real. It's the hero's journey, as interpreted through the shared language of the Wild West, the stock market, Tinseltown, Vegas, and courtly intrigue. We can bitch and moan about how the game is rigged, or maybe we can master the game within the game just enough to chart a course for a third path that is better than nihilistic acquiescence or soul-compromising grift. Ever since I read the story of Mark Fu's ignominious death at one of the scariest waves on the planet, surfing has fascinated me. Since I received my first solar plexus pounding at the mercy of the plunging lip of a hurricane wave, I was hooked. This was real, something real. Sure, the punches felt in the ring are real. The crush of the dog pile after a fumble on an American football field is really painful. The crack of the bat delivering a home run or a six is really audible. The fever pitch of the group dynamic at an intense rivalry, whether it be between Auburn, Alabama, the Iron Bowl today, or Tottenham Arsenal, is palpable. But there's something about coming face-to-face with Neptune in what feels like Davy Jones's locker. The hypothermic appendage tingling of impending Ragnarok after a wipeout. And you just keep going back. Whether or not you're a surfer, chances are you know the feeling. Experiencing real terror, real stakes, you gotta go back. But there's another element to surfing, the social element. We call it the lineup, where the surfers gather just beyond the breaking waves to jockey for position to catch a wave. You can't share a wave, not really. Every wave is predestined for celibacy or monogamy. Neptune isn't into polyamory. In Endless Summer 2, Bruce Brown said that every wave is like a fingerprint. No two are the same. It sounds like a romantic notion, a surfer's mythos to make us sound more mystical. Dude, every wave's like a fingerprint, bruh. But in nature, it's 100% true. Fluid physics is chaos theory in action, and it makes a shifting playing field for surfers that is irreducibly complex. There are rules of right-of-way in surfing, but like all human endeavors, they get political quick. Locals rule, except when they don't. Right to power can be wrested by physical violence or threats thereof, trash talk, or forms of wind trading, tag teaming the lineup to edge out outsiders. Weird shit happens, though. Neptune plays favorites. It's uncanny. Some days a dude is just predestined to get every wave he wants. Like he's just picking up hot and ready Krispy Kreme donuts off of the assembly line, and everyone else just watches, dumbfounded. How did he make that? He was too late. Why didn't someone else take that wave? He didn't even have priority. Cults of personality ebb and flow with the wind and the waves. For years, I avoided the lineup like the plague. The usual suspects just dominated the scene, and I felt like a dork, or worse, I ran somebody over and almost got the shit beat out of me. But you can't escape it. If you surf, you have to join the fray. That's all there is to it. You have to fight tooth and nail to make one of those waves, not your bitch, but your dance partner. And there are often at least 50 other suitors doing their damnedest to push you off of that dance floor. Surfing is individualism as sport. It is the free market in action. But because it's tethered to the sea, like Bulkington if he had shipwrecked in Polynesia, it has the spirit of aloha to keep it from becoming pure grift. We keep talking about which way, Western man, forward or backward, debating about how far backward is just right for plebeian Goldilocks to consider conservative before it reverts to pagan savagery. We're all savages, we're all colonized by rules, regulations, ideologies, and subcultures we'd probably just rather had never existed. And yet, the lineup remains. Do you quit, give up, exit? Go surf a shittier wave so you don't have to deal with people? Or do you take your place in the lineup humbly yet assertively? So how the hell does that even work? Competitively cooperative. It's both and. It's pagan and it's civilized. We can't get where we need to go strip mining the past to pave the road to the future, but we can't pretend that anarchy or tribalism will survive without mastering the art of maneuvering through the reality of progress. And we won't figure out any of this in the safety of our own cultural comfort zone. You gotta get in the lineup. You want to talk about maneuvering? Look at Nathan Florence here. It's insane. In my opinion, one of the other best proving grounds for real-world art of maneuver is in online gaming. The banter in the surfing lineup used to be pretty bad, but compared to online gaming, it's downright tame today. Anonymity makes even the weakest feel 6'5" and ironclad. This week, Tyler won a League of Legends event called Twitch Rivals, in which prominent Twitch streamers who play League of Legends compete. Tyler 1 is the epitome of Kappa pride, homoerotic physique posting, irony bro made flesh, shit talking uncensored by the broadcasting platform, and commented on by the self-trained best sportscasters in the business. It was one of the funnest spectator events in the history of League of Legends, as far as I'm concerned. Not the best caliber of play by any stretch, but tongue-in-cheek with merciless commentary and the most interaction you could possibly imagine for a sporting event, featuring players competing remotely at their home computers, all individually broadcasting their own streams to compete with the broadcaster's version. League of Legends has a problem. It's designed to be a team game, but in our ever-disconnecting, overly connected world, people play the game on solo queue, most often as an escape from real life. People play to avoid dealing with people in politics, but it's a team game. The other day I played a game and we won, and the team got on so well we queued up for another together. League of Legends now offers an in-game audio chat feature that automatically works when you enter into a team pre-game lobby. I heard someone else's mic click on, and we just listened to each other's room noise. Nah, too soon. I think we both just clicked our mics off and exited audio chat. Even though in theory audio chat would help better coordination. But that's not what happens. If only two guys have the audio chat turned on, they will tend to turn against their teammates, trash talk them. Even if one of the two is really the source of the team's problems, the other person defends them out of a people-pleasing bias. A strange, passive-aggressive avoidance of confrontation happens on the internet. Subtweeting has become a way of life. In solo queue, with the almost total anonymity, it develops its own complex hydra of coping mechanisms and adapted strategies for success or a laugh. Win trading, shit talking, intentionally losing until a bit of momentum is established, then using only 20% of your power to prove you can win even when you're not trying. But every now and then, just like in surfing or poker, the random number generator smiles upon you, and you have that brief moment of perfect synergy. Everyone's simpatico, winning a pivotal team fight, and even the dude just in it for the memes can't help but admire the victory with a swell of pride. You can write it all off, the game is rigged, or you can play the game, the deeper magic. Win or lose, you're building a legacy to a renaissance that preserves the art of war, the wave sliding club, and the noblesse oblige that you refuse to forfeit no matter how cynical you get, mandating that you keep your customer happy. You're preserving all of these almost unconsciously. You want to win, but you don't want to snake somebody. You want to be top dog, but you don't want to be truly toxic. Just a bit toxic to keep things spicy. Come on. It's a delicate dance between boredom and oblivion, baby, but you ain't gonna find it as a spectator anymore. God smiles on the lineup and solo queue, the proving ground for human action. Cooperative competition to preserve what's come before, but not at the expense of a joyous future. 2020 will usher in the decade that decides how the individual can carve a unique path without running roughshod over others. God help us. But it's going to be great. And it will require a mind-body simpatico that refuses reductionism and prizes articulation. Onward to the riff, brothers! Out into the lineup!
Embrace the struggle to learn to dance with the truth. Shoreless, indefinite as God.
Broadcasting live from Flyover Country, this is the Surfing Violinist Podcast.
Keep up. I am more than one thing.
That's right, Judge. I'm in your courtroom. Robo tripping, baby.
Warren Caulfield, punching a hole in a wall.
Breaking news.
Go to the eternal diller.
So wrong. You got a baby carrot on
Perpetually in a mall.
Then I won't speak.
The rule you follow. Regular this. Of what use was the rule?